Well, it's September 2009. I have had the Fishroom running up in various guises for nearly a year now, so I thought I'd do an updated tour for everyone and save me typing lots and lots and lots. This will just be a nice video tour of what we've got going on here. This is the main show tank, which we're in the living room just now looking into the tank. Here's some of Rupert's lovely discus. Also in here we have some newly added diamond tetras in honour of a certain collecting trip with Mr. Linder. Some really rather fat Siamese algae eaters. A few other plecos in here as well. Lamantichthys stabaros, see there. Also in the tank half a dozen Leprecanthus L264 and Barbie's Ancestris white spot, which are rarely seen but in there somewhere. You can see a bit of activity under there. There's also around about 50 or 60 cardinal tetras, Hyphesobricon bentosi, we see one there, and also there's a few Hemiodus kicking around. Tank's more or less full. Not really much plans to add more to it than that, although I would like to get the algae growth in the plants under a bit more control. Okay, so let's go through to the fish room. Fish room itself is behind the big tank. It's a long room. On one side of the room we've got a kind of work area. It's a kitchen sink, washing filters and stuff like that. You've got to love the pull out scooshed shower, very handy for cleaning filters and so forth. We've got lots of storage and millions of old copies of TFH. A whole bunch of stuff. Fishroom stuff, you see it in every fish room in the land. Little retro nano tank here. We've got Otocinclus, the world's fattest Otocinclus, I think. Some Raspora brigheti, bunch of cherry shrimp, and there's also a pair of Corydorus habrosus in here. In fact, let's just have a wee look. There's one at the back there. There we go. That's the male, I think. Zoom back out. Okay, on the right here we have 5 tanks, all of which are 18 inches front to back. This is a larger one with these absolutely superb barbs in. Not really seeing them at their best colour. Immediately after lights on, they're a beautiful green and gold. There's a nice one there. There are 4 unidentified Synodontis in here, probably captive bred, suspiciously granulosus like, but with black barbels. In this tank we have Bill and Ted, the test pilot goldfish, which go into every new tank to seed it. Had them for years now, still haven't managed to not seed a tank with them properly, but in the main this tank holds a group of half a dozen Orinocodoris eigenmanni. Next door we have a grow out tank for Pseudohemiodon species. We see here this individual is approximately 9 months old. It's maybe 2.5–3 inches long. You can compare it there to the cherry shrimp on the slate. Some younger individuals, about 6 or 4 months old. These are all growing out just now, and I plan to take some of them to pleco events in Norway and Germany over the next couple of months. Quarantine tank in here. Nothing in there quarantining just now. The challenge tank with some nicely paired off hoplos, Megalecus thoracatum, and they're busy building spawning nests and doing their thing in there. In fact, Yesterday they had a bubble nest. I'm just looking for it. I can't see where it's gone. Not much left of it under there. Okay, behind these tanks we have the Scoben and Sistris project tank. A few dither fish in here. There's some temporary additions, a couple of silver dollars I'm looking after for a friend, but did a very good job of cleaning out all the duckweed in here. See the large male Scoben and Sistris in here. Just one of the females in there. So what I'll do actually is I'll get a torch, shine it in, see if we can't see a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just teasing you with little bits of it, can't really see them properly. So, it's only the 3 plecos in there, and oh, there's some molestes in there as well at the back. They're a little bit timid. Australian Papua New Guinea tank here. This has a selection of rainbow fish, but also Neosilurus doing its thing. Absolutely fantastic fish, and very happy to have 3 of these in here. This is the largest one, probably female. The other 2 look like males. They stayed much smaller and are considerably thinner, and also beaten up by the male, by the female rather. That's the back of the display tank you saw at the beginning of the video. So what have we got in here? Another grow out tank for Pseudohemiodon, also infested by cherry shrimp. This is a woodcat tank. You won't see much in here until you feed them, but we see, for example, some Entomocurus lying around. There's also Tatia perugiae in there, and Centromochilus perugiae and Centromochilus reticulatus, which are very different looking fish. What I'll do actually is I'll take you over to the feeding trolley here, and we'll maybe put some flake food in. See if we get any movement. All the tanks are covered by a pond liner, which is just attached, stapled, and then black duct tape just hides the staples. Things you should never do: pour food straight into a tank directly. Okay, that's a bit of food going in, see if that has any effect. There we go. There's a male Entomocurus doing its thing. See if there's any more activity. There's a Centromochilus. The black shape you see there. There we go. Lovely. So that tank's just for Mark. Up here we have the Panaki Changi breeding tank. There are some young fish kicking around in there. The breeders are under this piece of wood in a round tube. If you give me a second, I'll just go and get my elephant foot. No fish room should be without one. Stick it down here. Let's see if we can see some little Panaki in here. There we go. There's one just under the gravel there. This particular batch I'm having a go at raising free range. Most of the wood in here is collected from the garden. It's beech, just tied together with cable ties and sunk. Usually takes about 6 weeks to sink, and is then devoured by the Panaki. They're particularly fond of the bark, which appears to be easier for them to eat. Just before I started this video, there's one sitting right on top there, but it's now been replaced by a cherry shrimp. Okay, well, we'll have a pass on the way back out, see if there's anything more kicking around, but as you can see, there's one just there